Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for March 2023. Excuse me. This is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone, so I suggest that you check back to your Moon and Rising sign videos. If you are interested in booking a reading with me, you can go to my About Box channel, the About Box section of the channel. There we go. And there I have listed the reading packages. So that's the number of minutes, number of questions, and the price. And then you can email me. You can say, hey, Tara, I want the 60-minute reading, and then I'll get back to you, okay? So you can email me at that address, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com. I have already done some meditation and shuffling on the Aquarius sign and glyph. I have with me the Radiant White deck, the Levita Sibila, and we're going to stick with the Golden Nostradamus cards. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around here. Let me see here. Let me get it. There we go. Situated. And we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to put another rifle and shuffle on the cards. And we will get started. All right. Here we go. First card down, the Death card. Well, I would say that is apt for Aquarius because we're going to have Pluto moving into that sign. This month, it's going to make an early ingress into the sign of Aquarius and then move back out, but it won't fully move in, I think, until either 2024, might be 2026, I'm not sure. You can speak, you can go to my colleague and friend Jessica Adams' channel. She's got a whole bunch of stuff, or her website, on the Pluto in Aquarius transit. You can also sign up, find her on Substack. Okay, so we have Pluto, the Death card. Oh, wow. The Temperance. Which is funny because this card comes after that card in the series. Next card, oh wow, the Sun. Next row, the Five of Pentacles. The Chariot. A lot of major arcana cards here for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Two of Swords. The Three of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, which represents Aquarius, by the way, and finally the King of Pentacles. Well, let's see, I have a 2, a 3, a 5, a 7, an 11, a 13, so 2 13s, but there is no looking at the 2 13s, and that breaks down to a 4 anyway, a 14 and a 19. Wow, okay, and then what is the energy over the entire? It is the Ace of, most definitely, I would agree with the cards right off the bat. For those of you who are new to my channel and my style of reading, I read energies, not cards. For those of you who've been with me since 2015, thank you for sticking around. Right in the center, we have the Chariot. Now, major arcana cards are spiritual lessons, where the other suits and court cards are known as the pip cards, okay? And one major arcana holds more sway than all of these cards put together. But right in the center, what we have is the Chariot card. It is a 7. And 7s are always a moment of questioning oneself. You need to, the cards are count the 7 counsels that you should stop for a moment, look over everything that has gone before moving on. Okay? You know, go back and look over your actions, your deeds, your words, everything that you've done before you get a chance to move on. It is a water card, the Chariot. It rules the sign of Cancer. So the card is really the idea of balancing your emotions so that you can continue forward on your journey. It is only through learning about ourselves, what makes us tick, for lack of a better term, that we are able to move through situations, even if it is something, a moment of crises. The card can also sometimes be an indication of travel, and this would be by car. Okay. Now, at the top, I have these huge, big energies. I have death, temperance, and the sun. Well, death is just that. It is death, and it always wins, right? Because it is a transformative process. It is going from one state to another state, okay? In the tarot, we don't predict death as an actual death, but we do know that we are still in times of COVID, so it could very well be maybe someone has passed away. That is not the energy that is coming across, but I do like to put out the scenarios. Death talks about a time when everything that you know or everything that you thought you knew fades away. Now, here on the card itself, we see the king is dead. We see the priest imploring death to stop. The woman there has fallen to her knees out of perhaps fear, and the only one who's not afraid is the little baby right there, because it doesn't understand what is happening. So we see death marching in. So this tells me that there is going to be a major, major, major life change. For some of you, this may have already begun. We have past, present, future, interplay of the cards. Depending on where you are in the grand scheme of things in your life. Near or distant past could be yesterday out to last year. Near or distant future can be tomorrow out to next year. Okay? There really is no timing. But Pluto is the god of the underworld. And what he does is he deals with rebirth, death and rebirth. Endings and transformations. Now, I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to tell me here, so I'm going to be looking back on that. But what it's going to require, this major change, is a bit of balance. Here we find the Temperance card. Now, in case you didn't notice, see the sun rising back there before between those two towers? Those two towers show up under the Moon card as well. Okay, and so that is the sun rising even as death comes through. There is also the ship there on the river flowing by, the travel, the transformation, the process. All right, and maybe what your emotions are about. The end of one thing, the beginning of something else. But this is going to require temperance. And what is temperance? Temperance is just that. It is about moderation. It is about economy. It is about understanding the balancing of different subjects. Here we see substances. Here we see the two cups and the water being poured back and forth. But this card is a fire card. It represents the sign of Sagittarius. And therefore, it speaks about the balance of fire and water. Fire can be your passion, your desire, your wants, not necessarily your needs, but those things that fire you up. And then how do you feel about them? The water. We know that if we place water over the top of fire, if we get the temperature just right, the water will start to bubble. It does evaporate into steam. So there's a transformative process. But we also know if we get the fire too hot, the water can boil over, right? Another transformative process, and put the fire out. So I've seen this card show up when people ask, am I on the right path, or is there going to be a new path that opens up for me? That is yes. See the crown there in the background is showing you the path, but the mountains way in the back is an indication of obstacles as you move along. And so this is just the way life is. Then we have the sun. So the sun promises growth, positivity, abundance, and clarity. but it also indicates the idea of being able to see something, an illumination process. One of the three luminaries in the major arcana card, okay? Now, they say that this card is the yes card, but in fact, all major arcanas are yes cards. Doesn't matter which one comes out, okay? But this is considered to be the most positive major arcana card. And we know that sometimes when we are going through a change or transformative process, sometimes we're not able to clearly see exactly what's going on, even though the light may be shining on it. This to me is about emotions. So we come to the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card of the fear, let's say, of not having enough money to take care of our personal needs. It is the fear of not being able to pay our bills or not being able to eat. It is the idea, it is a 5, so it talks about ups and downs. So this could be really for some of you a financial situation. The card speaks to the idea of feeling sorry for yourself and not being able to look past whatever the thing is that you are in. To me, this is an indication that there are 5 things that should be done. The card also indicates that help is available should you ask for it, and this is usually through some kind of perhaps governmental or community agency. But then we come to the Two of Swords. Now, this card counsels to trust what your intuition is telling you, but it is a swords card. So as you can see, I have 3 pentacles and 2 swords. Okay, there are no mundane cup here or wands. So this is either the doing of and finances, or what you think and the communication and the ideas and the concepts behind whatever these cards are talking about, whatever they are representing in this particular situation. So the Two of Swords, it's one of the hoodwinked cards. The other one is the Eight of Swords. This is the idea that, you know what, I don't have enough information to make a decision. I don't know what to think about it. And since I don't know what to think about it, you know, or if the information that I'm getting is correct, maybe someone's deceiving me, maybe they're lying to me, I don't know, so I'm going to do nothing. But just remember, doing nothing is also doing something. It is a 2, and 2s represent choices, dualities, oppositions, choices, decisions, and being at a crossroads. But the card does say, take a moment. See the bench? Being seated on a bench in the tarot indicates a moment of rest. So this card is saying, stop, you know, whatever it is you're thinking, and trust what your intuition is telling you. Okay. Now, this card can sometimes come across, like I said, somebody saying, oh, you know, I don't know what's going on. I don't see what's happening. I don't know what to believe. But because her left eye is not covered all the way, to me, the card always indicates that you have an idea of what is going on. The swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. So sometimes this card can be unsettling communications, or having a fight with a friend, or an argument with someone, okay? Nasty words being said. You don't know how to quite take it. But then we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, I only have the 2 court cards here, but 3s can sometimes be an indication of at least 3 people being involved. We see the 3 figures here. We've got, this is not 3 figures, but there are 3 figures here in the corner, one of them having dropped out, okay, for lack of a better term. But the Three of Pentacles can be the idea of teamwork, of negotiations, of financial projects and projects being brought together. It is about being in agreement with people. As you can see, we have the 2 figures there with their plans. They're going over to the workman. He is on a bench, elevated. So that means he's got a bit more skill and knowledge than these 2 people here. So this could be simply the idea of getting your plans together and going and gathering some advice from someone else. But then we come to the Page of Swords. Now, for me, all pages and all knights simply represent news, okay? So the Page of Swords lets me know that there's going to be some kind of news or message coming in about this. The Page of Swords is a student of communication, so he's not afraid to ask maybe the hard questions or the deep, in-depth questions in order to get to the truth. He can sometimes be a nasty character or someone who's very abrupt and direct. Okay, sometimes he can be a spy. But on the back side, we have the King of Pentacles. Typically an earth sign male. Would be, normally he represents Taurus, but he can be a Virgo and or a Capricorn. If not that, this is a business guy. He runs a kind of business that he built himself. He built it up out of hard work. So he knows about finances. He knows about negotiations. He knows about contracts. This can sometimes be a contractual issue, these two here. And typically will have some pretty good advice. But he could also be a banker, a mortgage lender, a financier, an accountant, a stockbroker. So any place that he's going to either be dealing with monies, handling finances, or the actual building of some kind of business or quote unquote structure. All right. Over the entire reading, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, all aces represent new energies coming in. So this may not only be just a financial issue for some of you, but it can literally be the doing of something like taking a new path. But what the Ace of Pentacles, what the aces say is that that energy is becoming available to you. So there could be new financial proposals or financial opportunities coming in, but you may have to do something a different way. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't look at these two cards because traditionally they represent people. So that only leaves me these three as they relate to these four major arcana and perhaps even an overall influence here. So let me grab my book. We will start with the Five of Pentacles. Here we are, the Five of Pentacles. Can be implying that you feel confused and discouraged. The message is to stand strong regardless, as better it's on its way into your life. It can be pertaining to a legal issue or case. It implies that you may not be successful and may incur costs or suffer loss. It tells about someone who is anxious over money, poverty, and lack in general. It can indicate a dark night of the soul type of situations. But it asks that you are asked to maintain your spirit and faith in yourself and the universal energies. It suggests financial loss and emotional hardship, but brought about by one's own hand. Problems and hardships brought about by oneself is an uncomfortable position to be in. But what it does is it provides a basis for starting over, bearing in mind the pitfalls of the past. You will be better equipped to restart or re-tackle the problem differently the next time around. It is a 5, and so therefore can indicate the appearance of a variety of obstacles, setbacks, or feelings of lack and loss. And in fact, sometimes when the 3s show up, the 3 can say that there's going to be a time of suspended events before future successes are realized. Okay? But it doesn't tell me anything next to any of these cards. Okay? So that takes me to the Two of Swords. Here with the Two of Swords with the Sun. It is telling you to keep faith and hope alive as changes are happening behind the scenes that will see you back in action in quick time. It is a sign that your life is about to become very busy and active, as choices will be made that usher in fresh energies and enthusiasm. Well, there you are. Okay? And no matter if you are male or female or identify with a male or female role, if you are out hustling and getting your game on, that's a more outward directed energy. So that represents a king energy. Okay? Let's see. If you have been involved in a dispute with a friend or an acquaintance, this card, the 2, indicates that an amicable solution can be found, with both parties being satisfied and positive about the dispute being resolved. I had a friend that worked in a Fortune 500 company who said to me once that, how do you know that you did a good contract or you made a good deal, that both sides don't get what they want? In other words, You don't always get everything that you want, but if you can come to hammer out some kind of agreement that both parties can live with, then that is a success. Okay. It says that it may be indicating reunions or reconciliations, and that's what one of the meanings of this card is: reconciliation. It is not the idea of people coming back together, but it's the idea of reconciling oppositions within yourself, so that you can balance yourself out and continue to move forward. This card speaks about compromise. So this could literally be talking about you guys having to come together, and make a compromise, hammer out some kind of deal in which you can both live with. Okay? And sometimes that can be admitting where you are wrong. It says that this card tells of difficult decisions to be made and tough choices. So it indicates weighing up the pros and cons. It can also indicate a stalemate in your affairs and a feeling of not knowing which way to turn. Where emotions are involved, it tells of mixed emotions and a feeling of confusion, unsettling communications. But the message here is that the key to achieving a satisfactory compromise is by open and honest communication. Okay? There we are. Maybe you're going to have somebody else step in and intervene. So now we move to the Three of Pentacles here. I have two swords. The Three of Pentacles with the Sun brings a message that your innate talents will come to the fore and you will have success and personal fulfillment. You have a right to feel secure on your path and are asked to maintain faith in yourself and to stay positive. Okay? It tells of talent, skills, and abilities being put to good use. It tells of success to be had and suggests that your efforts will be rewarded. Financial affairs will blossom, particularly if you work for or within a large organization or a family business. It represents teamwork and people working towards a common goal. It can signify a need for planning and forethought and can be a sign to slow down and consider things carefully before taking action rather than taking on more than you can handle. It can also, it says if you're looking to move residence and this card appears, it is a good time to both buy and sell property. It also says, particularly maybe you've lost your job here, okay? But it says you may find that employers or potential employers have taken note of your abilities or quality of work, and you may be called upon to work on a project that will benefit from your skills. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to last, but we see that energy coming in, do we not? Okay, so I said there was something else at the Death card. I think what strikes me the most is that the Death card comes in, but there's no real, what's it called, stop or block. It continues and it moves smoothly on, leading to this individual. If this is not the person that I described in terms of professions, someone you know, then what it says is you're going to have to adopt the characteristics. Be practical, be shrewd, be down to earth, be grounded, so ground yourself, do your research, take your time, utilize all of the skills and resources that you have. Most people assume that resources just talk about finances. It doesn't. It's everything you know how to do. If you know how to, bake or whatever it is that you know how to do, all of the skills and resources that you have to bring to bear on the whatever the project is, okay? And so that's what that card represents. I want to take a look quickly at this Death card to see what he's talking to me about, because he's telling me something else. A profound transformation. It indicates that a major change is about to occur in your life, which may require outmoded concepts to be discarded for a newer, better life and or lifestyle. It is asking that you step out of the past into today. It asks that you face the future, accept the changes, and adapt accordingly. It indicates that a stage in life is coming to an end, but from that ending, new experiences will evolve. It indicates major transformations in the near future and requires rethinking one's life and beliefs, which will bring about many positive changes and eventually renewal. It tells of recognizing the end to a situation or a change in attitude. It asks also that you do not resist the changes that are coming towards you. But then it indicates that it is necessary to look at your life and to question the amount of energy that you are putting into relationships. So therefore, you need to decide whether it is necessary to let go. You need to decide whether it is necessary to let go in order to save energy. I'm sorry, that's what that says. So that's why I find this an interesting sentence here. Even going directly into the Temperance card, it tells of a karmic situation where you will be forced to learn independence, unity, and justice. And it tells of a need to achieve balance, harmony, and moderation in all things. Okay? Appearing, it indicates good self-control and a balanced personality. But it also suggests that balance and caution may be required in a situation that may involve arbitrating between two other parties. Perseverance and cooperation with others, gladly given, creates a successful mix of ideas and achieves the most successful outcome. It implies that things will proceed positively and all is coming together. There is a focus on reassessing situations that had seemed to be in the past but may have reemerged to be dealt with yet again. It represents moderation, management, and economy, and tells that it may be necessary to live frugally and manage your affairs carefully, particularly at this time. But it also asks that you explore your emotions by considering the things you desire and the things that you dread. Well, there you have it. And so my question is, I would want to know, what is it you think you don't know? Or maybe some of you are trying to deny that this ending is coming, or maybe you sense it, okay? But I would want to know, why is it that this Two of Swords is what sticks out to me, okay? It really does. And the illumination of either how your finances came to be in the situation that they're in, or the fact that you either did something to cause this or you didn't do something, because this card really talks about how money and love or respect, especially self-respect, are two sides of the same coin, right? Because they equate to value. And if you've lost a job, or your money's struggling, or you've done something that has caused, let's say, a downgrade in lifestyle or whatever, and it was done by your hand, it's because, and right now you may be feeling as though you're not valued, or you're stupid, or you're this, or you're that, when really it was just something. It's an up and down, nothing major. So let's see what the Two of Swords has to tell us here. I think in quick time you will be back on your way, but I also feel it's going to require that you need to stop and do some reassessing, do some planning, and keep your emotions in check. There it is, the Vedavo, which is the Three of Spades in this deck, okay? And it simply talks about somebody who's kind of given up, who basically can just go through the motions of doing whatever it is that they're doing. We'll go back with this again. Mourning the loss of something close to you. Now, sometimes this card does speak about the loss of a spouse or someone important to you. Okay, looking at the Death card here. There's the Viaggio, a returning trip. I don't know if maybe some of you have returned from maybe a funeral or something of someone important in your life. and the Gran Consolazione. What that says is that, and this energy is somewhat traveling back, this is the card of everything you've ever wanted. But we can see it's kind of like in a cloud up there, right? Okay, so that could be your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Maybe this is coming back to reality, to travel back. This really just talks about travel. Doesn't say to, where from, or what about. But if we wanted to look at it metaphorically, I would say it could be traveling back to reality to realize that, you know, you're going to have to put something to bed. You're going to have to leave the past behind. You're going to have to come out of the reverie, whatever it is that you're in, and figure out what you need to do. Right now, I don't think you see a way to do that. Okay? Let me pull up the Vendivo just quickly to see a few of the keywords for him. Solitude, regrets, but can also refer to distance, loss, introspection, a lack of support, loneliness, tears, and poverty. Okay? Someone who feels as though they've lost their sense of direction. In love, it indicates pathological behavior. Nope, wrong thing. In love, it can indicate separations, arguments, incompatibility, rancor, and resentment, or relationship devoid of true love. Financial matters, it can indicate a financial collapse or the unsuccessful ending of a project that has meant a lot to you. The card entails making life-changing decisions and either breaking away from something or someone. So therefore, it can indicate estrangement, deprivation, absence, a lack of some kind, and moving away from a person or a situation. In financial matters, it represents financial loss, dismissal, a lack of money, and or unwanted business trips or relocation. Okay? So it's just the idea, I think, that some of you feel literally left out in the cold or alone, as though somebody pulled the rug out from underneath you. Okay? But it's only temporary. It's a 5. It's only temporary. Here you have, you can either allow that to bother you, or you can remake it. As I often say, you write your own story. You got the pen or the pencil in your hand, and only you can write the next chapter. And you can write it any way you want. You can say it's a damn brand new beginning if that's what you want, and forget everything else that has come before. All right? So, here we go. Number 3. If I'm not mistaken, this is the thorns. Not the tree, but the thorns. And so you're getting messages to the 7 here to slow down, to contemplate, to think before moving forward. That message has come up several times. Here is the thorns. It says the only certainty in our earthly lives is that they go on as a war. This card may be the harbinger of bad news or mourning, or a simple difficulty that will cause pain. The wound will prick you like a thorn, either in your mind, in your serenity or peace, or in your body. It doesn't say that it's like the death stab. There are no 10 of swords, 9 of swords, 8 of swords, 3 of swords. Okay? It's just a moment. So that is what I have for you. Until next time, be safe. Again, you can email me there at hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com for a reading. Bye.